You're listening to the Deranged Nation, a true crime podcast featuring New York Times best-selling paranormal romance author and your host, Teresa Gableman.
Hello, and welcome to Deranged Nation.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
We are on episode 10, and we're doing When Gamers Murder.
Yeah.
Gamers. But first, before we get on to this, we just want to give a shout out to all the retail workers and truck drivers, nurses, doctors, and everybody that's, going through all this.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
Putting their lives on the line.
Exactly.
Just to get out there and do the things, keep the world running.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody's got to do it. Even the tradesmen, the electricians, the plumbers, people who's got to keep your shit moving in your house too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're able, keep an eye on the older folk, and they're the ones that's going to suffer the most.
Yeah, by far.
Through all this. So
yeah, we have a relative in the nursing home.
Yeah.
Yep. I lost my job.
Yeah, Helena lost her.
Laid off anyways.
Yep.
But we're coping, and we'll get through it, and we all just have to stick together and stop pointing fingers on who's to blame and all that crap, and we just need to get through it, and we will.
Yep.
It's going to be a rocky road. Hopefully y'all found some
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Bread.
We didn't have no problem. There was plenty of toilet paper at Kroger.
Well, today...
Maybe not our brand, but it's toilet paper.
Right.
That's the least of my worries,
Right.
man.
Exactly.
Toilet paper was the least of my worries. But our store was a little bit better stocked up this morning when we went.
Yeah.
So,
We had meat.
yeah. So we only took what we needed. We didn't hoard anything, so...
There's not a shortage of food in the grocery stores.
By far, no.
And there's food there. We walked around and was like...
It's just everyone's taking it
we
so
could eat
fast that
the
they don't have time to
stuff
restock
is gone. Your name brand stuff that you like at home a lot is probably
there
gone.
for like a second, it was kind of empty, but
after
a couple trucks came in,
the supply chain's moving.
Yeah, it was right back.
It's moving.
Yeah.
So don't panic too hard.
Be patient.
Yeah.
And we're out in rural.
Bumfuck.
Yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere, so
Yeah.
and our stores are pretty stocked. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're better. We went this morning, but the time I went before that, it kind of made me a little sick to my stomach, and I'm not the panicky type. But walking through and seeing like all the empty shelves, all the empty freezers, no meat, it's a kind of a wake up call.
Yeah.
It
sure.
was,
it's really happening.
And there was actually 2 policemen, so yeah, it was a wake up call for sure.
Yeah.
But it's no reason to panic.
Don't do anything deranged.
Yeah, don't do nothing deranged. We'll all get through it for sure.
Yeah, well, and the thing we were talking about was like, I'm a big prepper guy. I watch a lot of prepping stuff, and in my mind I keep saying, man, I need to do that. I need to prep. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I got me a little bug out bag that I started with some stuff in it, but you just let it go. You think for a minute like, oh, I got time to do that.
Right.
But then when something like this hits, you realize that you should have been prepping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not hoarding. It's prepping over a long period of time, building your supplies for who knows, whatever happens. We'll get through this, but it probably won't be the last time something like this happens. So, you should prep stuff that you can store.
Right.
You don't have to be outrageously crazy, but maybe in your mind you do. So, but what happens is everybody panics at once and then goes and hoards everything, and that causes a strain on the supply chain.
Yeah.
Well, some people don't have the capabilities or financial means to prep. So if you can prep and be kind of ready for something like this, then you don't have to take away from the people that actually
get Social Security checks.
Need to get to the store last
the elderly
minute. And that way the
too.
shelves can stay stocked and maybe less people can panic.
Especially non-perishables. I mean, obviously you can't store store bread for a long time,
Right.
but you can store flour.
You can freeze
and
bread.
You can store rice, and you can store things that
Right.
like, because we got lucky to find, we found a couple boxes of rice,
Yeah.
our brand of
That's it.
rice on the
Couple.
shelf,
Yeah.
and there's no spaghetti.
Yeah.
So everybody's buying rice and spaghetti, you know, and those are perishables, non-perishables that you can store
Yeah.
for a
really
period
long
of time,
time, yeah.
you know.
Well, we used to be in good shape. We used to have a garden. We used to can. We actually had a freezer of meats. And it wasn't that we were, I guess we were prepping, but it wasn't something that we were like focused on, but we've always talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's something we're going to get back to. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
this is definitely a wake-up call. It's not that I'm panicked. You know, the other thing that, you know, I'd like to say is the media, get your information like from your local state.gov or the CDC. You know what? The media
Yeah.
is scaring the crap out of a lot
Everyone,
of
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's causing a lot of people to panic,
people. And
you know. And
I'm really careful on who I'm listening to, and you know, I suggest, especially, you know, older people. You know, with my mom, I kind of had to say, "Hey, let's watch something else."
Yeah.
because she was just constantly watching
Yeah.
the news and
And
just
that was
getting
it,
really
man.
nervous. And it's like,
yeah.
let's watch something else. And I've
Yeah.
got her on, you know, on her computer. She can go on the state thing and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, she can get the
real information, yeah.
that she needs. So,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah.
everybody's kids are going to be home playing video games,
Yeah.
probably, because they're not going to be in school for
Yeah. Till
quite a
till
while
next
now.
year,
It
yeah.
sounds like, but
Next season
you
for it
know,
after
so
summer.
Yep.
we thought it would be proper to bring up some deranged video game kids.
And what
And
episode are we
adults.
on again?
Yeah,
We're on
and really a
episode
lot.
10.
Episode
More of
10.
them are like kind of older, like, you know what I mean. Some of the people we're going to talk about, they weren't like little kids or nothing.
No.
There's a
No.
few. Most of them, some of them were like in their grown adults, like in
Yeah.
their 30s.
Yeah.
Well, and two, we want to make sure, we want to open this up for discussion because we are for sure not saying that, you know, the reason that some of these things happen was because of games. It's just like, you know, back when we were growing up with Black Sabbath and you know, all these music, all the hard, you know, heavy metal.
Right.
Oh, it's, you know, if you listen to that, you're going to be a devil worshiper. Well, I'm not a devil worshiper. That's
No.
all I listen to.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what all my mom listens to too.
Yeah,
I like
so-
a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
And we played video games, but the most violent
Yeah.
game we started with was Pong.
and I'm
You had to smash
Space
that
Invaders.
ball and Space Invaders and killing aliens.
Yeah.
Man.
well, I'm definitely
So-
against the fact that video games contribute to these. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
I-
mental
don't-
unstableness.
I think it has
combined with the video
a lot
game,
more
I
to do
think.
than just the
that-
video game.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
everybody has that fantasy. You know what I mean? It's just like in a movie. If you're watching a movie and you're like, man, I hope the bad guy just fucking gets it. I hope,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he gets his head chopped off. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Right.
this is kind of the same way someone else is expressing their through a video game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in real life, though, you're not going to take it that way as far as, I'm going to cut this motherfucker's head off.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have, okay, my gaming experience, I don't get into the games of today.
Right.
I'm more of the Space Invaders.
The old arcade games.
Yeah, the old,
type.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I love. You guys have a different aspect on what you guys play, and well, you guys can get into that.
Yeah.
But I guess the real question that, you know, that we're asking is, and what you feel, what your opinions are, is do violent video games lead to violent crimes, or does compulsive gaming invoke a natural violent tendency in people who have existing, you know, sociological or psychological issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think there's, to me, in my opinion, there's underlying issues,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
for things that go.
Yeah. Triggers.
Yeah.
Especially in younger children when your brain is still in development. I mean, you have to think about that too.
Yeah.
And with Cody growing up, I mean, he was outside a lot, but you did play a lot of video games, but you know, we kind of censored some of the things that you played
Right.
until you got to a certain age.
And we broke it up when he was playing too long. We would,
or when we see him throw the controller across the room, we were like, okay, that's it, get outside.
Yeah, my brother got like that.
Yeah, but I never wanted to like kill you guys. Or I never got like upset. I was just like, yeah, you're right.
So yeah, we could open that.
Let's probably take a break. Let's probably take a break, go outside or something.
Yeah.
So a history of the violent mass murders, and that's, I'll go through this, and then everybody else can go through, what you guys have. But so there are, I believe, 6 violent mass murders and the history of games they played. So the Columbine, which everybody remembers, 1999, Eric Harris and Dylan Kielbold. That's when they went on to their 49-minute shooting rampage at Denver's Columbine High School, which I remember that very well.
Yeah, it was insane.
I watched that unfold on TV. They murdered 13 people as well as themselves. And they said after their parents took away their video game privileges. Numerous times, and the thing of it is,
like, what they just were like, okay, let's just go do it in real life since we can't play.
Right. Well,
see, when you start at that young of an age and you're doing it, because I know how kids are, because I was like at that whenever I was, under the age of like 10 to like 14. Me and my brother would stay up all night long and sleep all day and get right back on at like 7 o'clock and play for hours. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you get into the wrong mindset, if you already have psychological issues too,
right,
while your brain is still developing and it becomes so real to you,
How old were the kids from Columbine?
Let's see.
What age group?
I'm looking.
Was that like middle school age?
No, that was high school.
It was high school. I want to say they were like 17.
Okay.
They were probably in between.
Yeah.
But numerous times prior to the suicide attack, the two had been banned from playing video games, leading them to exhibit violent and irrational behavior. But with their outstanding academic performance and lack of signs of emotional disturbance, the families didn't, go any deeper into their behavior. Harris was a mastermind. Eric was a mastermind behind the attacks, and he had been addicted to the game Doom, a science fiction horror first-person shooter video game. Those who played Doom over the internet with Harris say that he created a game level based on Columbine High School's floor plan.
Oh my god.
So,
I didn't know that about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea about that.
Well, the thing is,
Doomed involves like crafting, like where you collect things. I think.
Never really
not sure.
No,
I haven't either.
Aliens though.
Well, it says his design was nearly the exact replica. Say it.
Replica.
Thank you. Minus a few wings of the school because the game didn't hold enough data for him to match the layout entirely. He would play in God mode, which took away from the skill that in competition that Doom usually encourages.
So what is God mode? Like you can't get killed or something?
So instead, God mode created a dry run for the massacre, and the two would eventually carry out in real life.
Where he can create the type of game that he plays. Like you create what you do for the game.
Yeah, you're playing God.
He wrote,
and make your settings.
You're the creator.
Yeah. So in a journal entry, Harris wrote, "I feel like God, and I wish I was, having everyone being officially lower than me. They killed 12 students and 1 teacher, wounding 23 others before killing themselves." So I was a bus driver, and I remember one instance where there was it wasn't my school bus. I was a sub bus driver, so I drove all the buses. And somebody on the bus found a wadded up note. And when they opened it up, it was a drawing of the cafeteria. And you remember this when I came home and told you about this. And they found out what student it was, but he had drawn out the cafeteria, had the teacher's place where they usually were in the cafeteria at the middle school, and then had kids laid out like they were dead. So they took that as a threat.
Yeah.
So the thing that upsets me...
Good catch.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
What ended up happening?
He was
Expelled?
done.
Yeah.
He was done. Yeah, they take that crap very
of course.
very seriously. And that's the one thing as a school bus driver, we do our buses. I mean, especially as a sub bus driver, because I don't want the regular bus driver to get on and their bus be a mess.
Yeah.
So we always made sure that everything was cleaned up.
Right.
And you find stuff like that. I found notes and letters and all kinds of crap. But this one bus driver actually opened it up and looked at it and seen and figured out what it was. But the thing that kind of upsets me is when you are on a gaming thing, I know like with you guys, you see things, people can talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So did nobody see this? There's not a whole lot that I have on here, and that's
not
something.
Back then. I mean, what year was it?
1999.
No, there wasn't. That was
I don't
probably
think that it
Doom was like a
evolved
PC game. I don't even think PlayStation 1 was even hardly out yet.
Yeah, probably not.
I was
So
4 years old, actually.
yeah, I think Doom was more a PC computer.
It was
game
PC.
back then, and
I don't even know if it is any on PS4 or
it's
Xbox
coming out
or...
again. But it's more of like it's still a first-person shooter game, but it's
Right.
like aliens in space, and just like the movie Doom with
Right.
The Rock.
Yeah.
You know how that's kind of like video game-ish when you watch it.
Right.
So the other one is the Aurora movie theater shooting, which I remember very well also. And that's why I'm very careful.
Oh yeah, this is when the movie theater stuff started.
Colorado?
July 20th, 2012. A movie theater was filled with viewers anxious to see the midnight screening of the Batman film, The Dark Knight Rises. The group of friends and families included a father and his 6-year-old girl who attended the showing. They were shocked at what happened next. Homicide suspect James Holmes entered the theater through the back entrance and killed 12 people in cold blood, wounding 70 more. He was known to be obsessed with video games, among a slew of unsettling evidence, including collection of guns, more than 1,700 rounds of ammunition, medications.
That he was prescribed?
And the police took inventory of numerous video games such as Skyrim, StarCraft, and Oblivion, all of which are multiplayer games with role-playing components.
Yeah, they're like, I've played Skyrim. They're open world, like giant maps, and basically you go and to all these different objective points, you find stuff, you craft stuff, you build stuff.
And all
But you kill things too, lots of things. People, you take over towns, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
If you want to, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't have
a choice.
to do stuff
That's
like
the thing,
that.
like a lot of these games have like, both a good and a bad side, I
Yeah,
guess,
you pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, if
Everything
you are
in this
kind of
world
messed
has a
up,
good side.
Yep.
or a
Kind of
bad
most
side.
of them, the shooter games, you're the good guy.
yeah,
And you're saving something
Yeah.
from,
yeah.
destruction or whatever,
Yeah.
I really think it's a mental... There is just something already there, and these games can enhance
They
that.
trigger.
Yeah.
Trigger. It's a trigger.
Yeah.
Especially when they play hours and hours.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
days. These kids will play days and like fall asleep and wake up and stay in the position they were in and keep playing.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have. There's
The other one, Sandy Hook. We all remember that because that is just heart-wrenching. 20-year-old Adam Lanza was obsessed with the violent lifelike video battle games that he played at his home where he lived with his mother, who was a teacher. I remember that. And she was the first victim of the shooting spree in December of 2012. His lust for blood continued in real life after murdering his mother. He then went and killed 20 children and 5 other teachers. The authorities stumbled across thousands of dollars worth of video games in his home.
Wow.
His obsession apparently prompted him to try to score a high body count.
How old was he?
20 years old. Let's see. His favorite games to play was Call of Duty, an intense shooting game set in World War II. Call of Duty Black Ops is also another one. And the thing is, I mean,
they're like military games.
Yeah.
We've all played those.
Yeah, I still play Call of Duty. I play the new one.
Is like, I mean, they don't really have like body counts, and they're not like that. They're not like you go into a school and kill a bunch of kids and for a high score.
You're killing people who are setting bombs off, and like it's just another team, and it's vice versa for them. It tells them the exact same thing.
It's really the way these kids perceive these games,
right?
You know what I mean? That makes them deranged. It's not the games themselves.
No.
You know what I mean? Because the games themselves, to me, I don't perceive them that way, and I play all them, but I'm not a fucking freak. I'm not gonna go kill somebody.
Yeah.
Well, so the other two that I have, I think you guys have, because I know those names. So I'm not going to go over it, but
well, since you were talking about movies, I might as well bring up my guy, Rocky Rambo. Rocky Rambo, Wee Nam Cam, I think was his name. Yeah. And there ain't a lot out there on him either. There was a 9-hour interrogation video that I watched, and it's on YouTube. So if you want to go check out Rocky Rambo, and he was named like that because his dad was supposedly a Sylvester Stallone and Rocky movie, Rambo movie type fan.
Oh, okay.
So he named his son Rocky Rambo.
Oh, so that was his
even
real
in the
name.
interrogation, he said he didn't like that name, you know.
Yeah.
But so the 9-hour interrogation of this guy is really where I learned what happened and what he did, things like that. But basically, Rocky Rambo was interrogated for 9 hours, and the video had a lot of time of him just sitting in the interrogation room, by himself. Like that's what they do,
right? Of course,
they'll make him sit there for hours,
try to
by
drain
yourself,
you, make you want to be
drain
over
you and make you think. But Rocky wasn't budging. Rocky would not talk about what had happened. So apparently, the story goes that Rocky was a 15-hour gamer, 15-hour-a-day gamer, and
that's a lot.
That's a crazy amount.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a
4
bachelor's
hours
degree.
Alone is like,
I can't even stay awake for 15 hours.
He had a bachelor's degree in economics, and he was from, I believe, I want to say Hong Kong.
So he was smart.
He was a smart kid, and they said, but he would not take credit for being smart when the interrogator was asking him about it. But, you can tell that he was just, he was smart because he wasn't going to answer any questions.
Yeah.
And put himself in,
right.
He wasn't going to admit to it.
What did he do?
In his mind. So what he did was he went to these 2 older people's houses that he really, from what we understand, from what I found on the internet and with the interrogation, that he didn't even really know these people, or maybe there was a story behind it, but it really hasn't come out why he chose those 2 people.
Right.
So it was an elderly man, 65, retired, on a walker, and
his home, was it like home invasion?
He killed them in their house. And apparently the woman came out. Her name was May. I don't remember what their last names were, but anyway, so he came out, and this lady was like an occupational therapist,
right?
Type. So she still worked and everything, but apparently he killed both of them with a hatchet and a knife, and he put their bodies in the bathtub. Turned the shower on to wash away the DNA, his DNA. But he left the hat behind, and he left the hatchet and the knife in the front yard.
Damn.
So apparently, this lady's coworker came to check on her because she wasn't at work that day.
Yeah, and
it was unlike her she was a regular, and so they went to check on her. And he had seen the knife and the hatchet in the front yard, but didn't pay no attention to it till he went in and kind of cracked the door open to check on him, and that's where they say he went in and he seen blood and everything, and then he went up to the bathroom. There was steam still rolling out of the bathroom.
Oh, he left it on and just
left it on
shit.
and found him. So the police, they
so it probably
investigated.
Cleaned him really good too.
Well, not really.
No,
because the police investigated it and they found his DNA under her fingernails. So apparently she was scratching him to try and, survive, I guess. And but they knew that it was a male profile, but they didn't know who.
Right.
So they started staking out the neighborhood, and they they went to the hardware store where the hatchet had been bought and asked about the hatchet. Like, hey, do you sell a lot of these?
Right.
And they were like, no, we hardly sell any of those. And they're like, is this your hatchet? And yeah, blah blah blah. And they were like, would you be able to anyway find out who bought this hatchet recently? And they found him on video. And they seen him buying the hatchet, buying the hat, buying the gloves. Pretty much he was buying a kill kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had him all on video buying everything. So
I wonder if anyone thought that combination was weird.
Well, the police seen his video. Yeah, and I'm sure they started putting that together. Like,
right.
What do you need a hatchet? What do you need gloves?
And
he had bought a hat that I guess it wasn't a very popular hat either. So, they knew exactly where it came from. And he had left that on the scene. So they knew he was an Asian male.
Right.
But they didn't really, I guess the video wasn't enough, or they couldn't identify him because he'd only been around for a couple years, so it wasn't known.
Where did he?
Calgary, Canada. Yeah. And
he was from where?
He was from Hong Kong.
Okay, that's right. That's crazy.
And he was there, I believe, living with his family there. And I guess so. What they did was they cased the neighborhood for a couple weeks, and then one of the guys that was doing surveillance said, there he is, that's him.
Damn.
But they had to have a reason to question this guy or bring him in or whatever. So a lady officer followed him to the grocery store, and she went in with a sling, her arm in a sling, and had a water bottle and acted like she was having trouble opening it. So Rocky helped her open the water bottle.
Smart.
And she collected his DNA. And then they followed him back home when he left the grocery store. They followed him back because this was 2 weeks after the murder.
Right.
So they were, it took them 2 weeks to find him. And they followed him back home, and that's when they caught him. So if you want to watch the interrogation video, which pretty much she talks about it, he don't. And I can't really. I felt like the interrogator, she was more trying to use the soft approach, but I've watched enough of these interrogation videos because that's kind of my addiction is watching the interrogation videos, and I know the tactics that they use,
right?
And they always start off nice, but towards the end they start getting really hard. And really kind of mean and nasty.
Yeah.
And she never did this to him. So she never really, I don't feel like, broke him.
Right.
Yeah. He was really...
He was used to sitting for hours, for 15 hours.
But she was getting to him, though, because he kept saying, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And then he would say, I have nothing to say. And then the other thing he would be like, you keep staring at me. She was making him really uncomfortable, but he still would not.
He wouldn't.
I didn't watch all of it like he did, just the parts that I watched.
Right.
Yeah, and if you want to watch it, go to about the last. It's a 9-hour interrogation. Go to about the last. I'm gonna say 4 hours of the video, and that's when she really starts questioning him. About the incidents and the pictures and all that. He didn't like
looking at the pictures.
He didn't like looking at the pictures. You could tell he did it just by the way he was nervously acting, Yeah. And all he cared about was getting a chicken sandwich and, getting some snacks and stuff like that.
Oh, goodness.
Do you think after he helped that lady with the water bottle thing at any point he was like, fuck, that was probably a cop?
Or was it her?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he realized what he did. Because he wasn't like a violent, he didn't come off as like a mean kid or like
tell him what
a
they said
hateful
in
kid.
court.
But in court, they said that, I think he commented that he couldn't understand why she was screaming when he was hitting her with the hatchet. Because in the video game, you only hit them a couple times and they die. And they don't make noise.
So he's not in reality. Somewhere reality has left. You know what I mean? And that's the scary part about some games. Because you can get so into that. But where is the point where... And why do some of these people just leave reality?
Yeah. So Rocky
crazy.
was sentenced to,
especially considering he was smart too.
Yeah.
I would have to double check on it. I'm not sure how much time he got sentenced to, but he was convicted. You know,
Of course.
The evidence was overwhelming on him.
He probably got life.
With his
Why would
DNA.
he leave the hat?
And then even after the interrogation, they stripped him down, took all of his clothes, and put him in a plastic suit, so they could get more DNA from him from the
What game
for
did
evidence.
it say? What game he was?
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
It was the Skyrim game.
And Oblivion, you said.
That's,
No,
that was a different one, but
It's the
yeah,
same game.
it was.
They're all
Skyrim.
Skyrims.
So yeah, that's Rocky Rambo, and if you want to check him out, there's a couple things. I think there's another podcast that covered him. But
all these that we've gotten, there's not a lot of them. Just like just the basic
minor details,
Yeah.
names.
Basically, they're just a news clip it once, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's really all.
You
that
can't really
comes
find
out
much
of
more
So-
regarding
Right.
most of them.
So since you guys are gamers, do you guys know what swatting is? And if you read my paper, you can't say. Did you read my paper?
Swatting?
Swatting.
Do you know what that is? Because I was shocked.
I don't.
Do you? So, and this is, there's a lot on this. Swatting refers to a harassment technique most often perpetrated by members of the online gaming community. Swatting entails generating an emergency law enforcement response against a target victim under false pretenses. This has happened.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
I know exactly what that
where
is.
they call the cops on somebody.
Okay, yeah.
No, somebody probably either fakes something, right? Acts like something's happening.
No. Well, what happens is if they get pissed off, I mean, we have seen people, as I watch you guys when I come down here, and you guys are all three online, and people get pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we get pissed.
Yeah. And
No,
what
I was
happened-
playing with some guys on Call of Duty the other day, and they were so rude. I literally just had to put my mic up because I just could not stand the things that they were saying, dude. It was crazy.
So an Ohio 19-year-old was one of three defendants in a case of swatting, making a false report to send the police somewhere else. That led to Wichita police
Yeah.
and the police ended up going to this false place, which
Right.
was a real place, and killed 28-year-old Andrew Finch at his front door in December of 2017.
For what? Why did they kill him?
Well, authorities say this Vineyard asked one of the co-defendants to make the call because of an argument over an online video game, an argument that turned out to not even have involved this Andrew Finch. Vineyard of Cincinnati suburbs was sentenced in federal court.
it would be in Cincinnati.
Yeah. So what they do, and what I understand, is they call and they send. I mean, this was a SWAT.
I mean, what did they say? Did they say like this guy's hold up his family, or what kind of report do they make to cause him to send out the SWAT?
Andrew Finch. Dispatchers reported that the caller said he shot his father in the head and was hiding his mother and brother, or holding his mother and brother at gunpoint. The caller also warned that he wanted to kill himself and light the house on fire, authorities said. The police went to the home and surrounded it. Finch came out of the house when police arrived and was shot, according to the U.S. attorney. When he dropped his hands as officers were telling him to raise his arms, So, I mean, this kid don't know what the hell's going on. He comes out of his house and, you know,
oh my God. I can't believe
that would be like
something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's done nothing. He died at the hospital. Officers found no hostage situation or killing inside the home.
Oh my God.
Well, I kind of blame that on the police too, because why are you just going to go shooting just because of some report? You know, I don't know about that.
That's insane.
Investigator. Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is not the only case.
Wow.
When I was looking online, Google it. It's crazy. Investigators were led to learn that the 911 caller was Bears calling from Los Angeles, so that was another defendant that this other guy said to do. So there was actually 3 defendants.
That all called?
The Barris guy called.
They were in a group.
They were
chat,
in a group chat.
probably, and planning it. I'm going to call that motherfucker.
Yep.
So this guy pleaded guilty to making a false report. And this guy had a rap sheet also. Yeah, I mean he had done all kinds of shit. But what's sad about this Finch dude that was killed that I found? Watch me lose it. And this is all I have after this. Then you guys can. So after that happened, his niece, who was 18 years old, ended up shooting herself.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Could not
Lisa
handle
Finch
it.
said she blames her granddaughter's suicide attempt on the events of December 28th when Andrew Finch was shot by the police. And the reason why is because she was made to step over his dying body and she had to hear him breathe. And she's been going downhill ever since. She didn't know how to handle it.
He was still breathing.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, that when I read about that, that's some that's just scary stuff. You know, that you could be online playing a game, and there's another one that I didn't print out, but it was for $1.07 bet, and somebody did the swatting thing on them and had police come into their house. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, what I want to know is can you find out easily, like, where somebody
not
lives?
easily.
The police would have to do it.
It depends if you're
Through your your PlayStation
you're
Network
like
account. They would probably link it and find it through your Wi-Fi system.
I mean, unless
guarantee
you
it.
dox yourself online
So
or whatever.
that's what I want to know.
Know
Can the police go on? So for instance, say you're on there playing, and somebody said, you know, I'm getting ready to. After this game, I'm going to go kill my people in my house. And you're like, oh shit. So you call the police. You're not swatting, but you actually try to call the police and say, listen, I'm playing with this dude, so.
Yeah.
You can report stuff through the PlayStation Network or...
I wonder if
but I guess that depends on the platform.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something you can do right away, I don't think. I don't think it's something you can make happen immediately.
Well, it must have been immediately because...
Unless you know.
Well, I'm saying unless
you've
known his address for, like, you had a couple hours to
I'd
find
say
it.
that they have the police look into it. They probably either... Because you can look at people's PSNs, and it depends on what they decide to share with you. But all of our stuff is private.
Right.
But some people's aren't.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could just pick somebody
and like
who isn't.
YouTubers and things like that, you know, that...
I mean, if you know their real name,
or whatever.
I mean, if you know
that's
someone's
what I mean.
real name and not their PlayStation Network,
Look them up on Facebook, find out what state they're in.
Yeah,
real name and real identity. Then because I mean, if you know someone's name, you can find anyone's address.
I mean, I was a repo guy for like 15 years, so you can pretty much find anybody.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure I'm sure, you know, if the police need to get that information quickly, I'm sure that they would be able to get it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
They would probably only have to get a hold of freaking PlayStation Network information to find out where it's linked to and what server it's on.
But in all that happening in a period of time that this incident happened, you know, it'd be pretty hard. But,
crazy.
You know.
That's like... Jesus. I mean, I remember hearing a story about that, but...
I was looking up, you know, this other stuff, and that came up, and I was like, what is that? And I didn't know if you guys knew anything about it or not, being part, being
I mean, I didn't know that was the term for it, but yeah, I've heard of it. Heard of people doing shit
I heard
like
of that happen a while back, but I didn't think it was still a thing. I mean,
obviously.
I mean, I've heard of some pranks like locally of like friends, like, you know what I mean, but
doing stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that was fucking probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just shows that people take this stuff pretty...
Oh, they take it serious, man, for sure.
So if you are a gamer and you're listening to this and you know any other details, let us know. Comment, let us know.
Yeah.
All right, and then we also have a bunch of other people we can talk about, but honestly, there's not much information on the people that we're going to talk about. What we did find, we couldn't really find much else, so we're just going to go over kind of what they did. We'll start with Devin Moore. He got 3 acts of first-degree murder, and he killed 3 police officers because of Grand Theft Auto. So, he was booked on suspicion of stealing a vehicle. When he was at the police department, he stole one of the police officers' guns, and he shot 3 officers in the head and then fled in a stolen police vehicle. Later, he said, life is a video game. Everyone has to die sometime.
So how old was he?
He was 17, I believe.
Was he the blonde?
No, it was a black man.
Oh, okay.
Black African male.
No, the reason because I remember watching up there.
There was there was more than one like Grand Theft Auto incident that somebody blamed Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I mean, that one's definitely a little criminalistic of a game. It's probably the one that probably pushes the line on some stuff you can do in it. But,
but if you actually play like the story mode, like if you follow it, it's you fighting against like a deep state type thing. You know what I mean? Like you're fighting against it. You're giving weapons to the right people.
You're supposedly doing it for the greater good.
Yeah,
the way the story.
I mean,
moves.
we all play it together. I mean, basically, you sell weed, you sell coke, you steal cars, you visit prostitutes, you go to strip bars, and all that. But
it's a rated M for mature game.
Usually, we're laughing our ass off, joking around.
That's my point.
We don't reflect it on real life.
We're
that's
not
the thing.
really trying to go crazy and
No.
Although I have to say,
dude, this is a pretty good business plan. I think we got something solid here.
And we can own all kinds of businesses, illegal businesses.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's the fun about it is that you can do illegal shit.
Yeah, without and
not go to jail.
That's the point, though. It's a game.
You don't go to jail in that game. Yeah. If you do, you're usually walking out of jail. For some reason.
Lose $5,000.
Go to
pay off the judge.
Lose your car, impounded.
It is a fun game.
Yeah.
And I do find myself sometimes, because we drive fast on that game, is wanting to get in the car and go fast.
Yeah.
Traffic.
Or just
traffic
cut the
does
median.
seem to piss me off a little more since I started playing with you guys. Because now I'm wanting to run. I'm not really wanting to run people off the road.
Excuse
me? I'm just impatient with the traffic and the dumbass drivers out there.
Yeah.
That, sometimes I wish if I
he doesn't want to talk.
No, he's talking over me because he knows
if I could ram him, I would.
He'll just keep going every time you try to talk.
But no, it doesn't affect my play at all.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not real life regardless. We joke about it, but it's a fucking game.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There's many more people to talk about, too. We have Zachary Bergs. This is another GTA. A stolen vehicle. He stole a vehicle and smashed into 9 other cars after he stole the vehicle. He was a lacrosse player at Auburn University,
That's
so he
who I
had
was
a
talking
bright
about.
future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Dude,
Nobody
I
was
think
killed, but
this
he
guy
was
looks
like,
he
I'm
was,
doing
like,
a GTA move and just fucking
done it
smashing
like
into 9
on
cars.
like a college campus, just a stunt. That, like, winded it up. Like,
Probably talking to his buddies, acting like assholes.
Yeah.
Well, he got 9 counts of hit and run.
Yeah.
And see, that's the point where I
And
think for me,
kidnapping.
I'm not going to do nothing that I do know
wasn't
I'm going
somebody
to
in
get.
one of the-
somebody was in the car.
Somebody was in the car that
Yeah,
he
he stole a car and it had somebody in
Just
it.
like in GTA, like you can get in a car and somebody still be in there. Yeah.
I know, especially,
And the old ones anyways.
especially on like driving, you'd be like, man, it'd be way faster if we just cut through the grass over there.
Yeah.
just cut through the grass right
And
here.
traffic rules are just out the window in that game. And, but I think I still have a grip on real life to where I'm not going to do anything that the police are going to drag me in for. So
we're allowed to be on there and play for a long time because of COVID 19 right now.
Yeah. So a lot of kids are going to have that excuse.
Yep.
Yeah. And we're allowed to have our adult
Use
fun.
it
We all know
responsibly.
you guys have your own secret adult fun out there.
Yeah.
Ours is just, we like to
A little different than yours,
sell
probably.
drugs with our animated characters on our PlayStation.
And not in real life.
And that ain't the only ones we play either. But
Yeah.
we like Fishing Planet and Fishing Sim,
Fallout 76, Doomsday stuff.
MLB
Yeah.
2020, as soon as that comes.
I like 2K and Assassin's Creed. That's another killing
She
thing
likes
now.
all the killing ones.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed
Watch it out for her.
Whatever.
is kind of a fantasy fun. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We've got... Oh, yeah, I didn't say something about Devin Moore. Devin Moore, did I say the quote? I did.
yeah.
I didn't say that about his death penalty. He got sentenced to death penalty.
Is that the first guy you
Yeah.
Yeah, death
Yep.
by lethal injection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was actually 16, not 17. Sorry, I needed to correct myself. And then we have Evan Ramsey. He shot a student, a principal, and wounded 2 others February 26th of 2006. An interview was conducted by Anderson Cooper.
Is that the guy on CNN?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside the Mind of a Murderer was what it was called.
That's on Netflix, isn't it?
Is it?
His dad
Yeah,
blamed
I
the
think-
video
I
game
think so,
Doomed.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a PC game that I think we haven't really discussed that. We did discuss that one
Yeah, we
earlier.
talked about
It's come up a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one in Skyrim.
Which is hard. I don't know. Doom was like you're on a spaceship and you kill aliens and stuff.
Well, that was
it's
the
I know.
movie. with
I don't
The
get
Rock.
what makes people.
yeah, but that was based off the game, wasn't
Yeah.
it? The movie?
But it sounds like you can create stuff in this game, like layouts, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, and then you create
well,
what
and
happens.
they all kind of have that
But every
same.
game has that same.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can
what
recreate
Tomb
whatever you
Raider,
want.
all these games. I mean, we killed aliens, called them space aliens and space invaders.
Yeah.
It's my game.
Every game, I think.
I'll kick all your asses on space.
Like, like our first game was like with a little plastic pistol that you shot this little square block going across the screen with a little plastic pistol.
Pong.
Yeah. Now you're running people off the road and.
My mom was really good at Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was.
Pac-Man wasn't. He was
You
good
still
at that.
you
That
ate
wasn't
a
my
bunch of
favorite.
dots and
Yeah.
you tried to eat the monsters.
Yeah.
Mine was
So
Space
every game
Invaders and
has
Galaga.
that.
Galaga is mine.
Galaga, she's killing aliens and shooting spaceships.
Hell yeah, I am. Watch
You
out.
know,
What's that one game that you have on PS4?
medieval.
Oh, medieval. Yeah, I use
You're
a
good at that
sword
one too, and that's like
kill
mythical
ghouls.
stuff. It's not
Yeah.
real stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's all in the mindset of who is playing these games, and and
the long-term time of getting brainwashed by the game. Really,
Yeah.
is
Definitely
what
have
it
to be
is,
mature.
The hours of brainwashing, that
And especially
the game
at young ages. Like, I
doing to
can't
you.
really stress that enough
Yeah.
when you're doing this stuff that
Yeah.
young
well,
and your parents.
and honestly, if he was 8 years
Well, even
old,
at
I
my-
would not let him.
That's what I
even
mean.
even when I was that age, these games weren't as in depth as they are
No,
now.
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
back then we had like Spider-Man and NASCAR and like, you know what I mean, like Splinter Cell, like stuff that wasn't really in depth.
Yeah, Call of Duty is very realistic. Frogger was fun. Mario,
Crash Bandicoot.
We still have that.
Spyro. I
have
Sonic.
Spyro too.
He used to play Crash for hours.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, hey man, it's time to get off.
Yeah, and then that's just, jump, you're a little squirrel thing,
like
jumping on. Yeah, but
we never used it as a babysitting tool.
Right.
But nowadays, though, like an 8-year-old can easily get on and play Grand Theft Auto 5, which, an 8-year-old kid, that age is way too young.
Yeah, it was free on PS Plus for a while, too, so any kid could have downloaded it.
It's always the little guys, like the 8-10-year-olds, that always kick my ass. They always hunt me down.
They're good.
Shit, Damn little 8-year-olds.
Yeah, they're good, dude. We have
because their parents let them play too much.
Too much training time.
Yeah.
Daniel Petrick is another really big one. He was 17 years old. He killed his mother and shot his dad over a video game, Halo 3.
His dad was a preacher. That was the one that his dad was a pastor or something.
Yep. So basically, this guy, he was a big sports kid growing up. I know he was extremely athletic and had a lot of promise in that field. And then something happened injury-wise, and a doctor said...
He broke his back.
Yeah, he broke his back.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do anything after that.
Like run? He couldn't even run, they said.
Yep, couldn't run. He literally could not do anything. And then he said that there would be no healing to it, really. After it did heal, you still can't play. You're done. Because if you hurt yourself again... you'll really be done. It's over.
Yeah.
So he resorted to video games. And within that, he got into the competitive ones, like Halo 3 when that came out. And he went to go get it, and when he came back, his parents told him he couldn't play it because of the violence.
Didn't they take it away from him, and then he snuck out and bought it?
Bought another one or something.
And then they called him again.
That's what it was.
That one from him, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Pissed him off.
Yeah.
I've never played Halo. What kind of game is that?
It's like other world. It's an alien world, and you're
you travel
in space,
planet to planet, and
you're killing all the monsters on the planets because they're trying to take over.
You're like a space.
It's really cool.
Like a space army cadet.
He was
it
killing
is
people.
No, they're bugs.
You were
there's
fighting
giant creatures.
Your planet,
but
against
there's
stuff trying to kill your
he was killing. He was in multiplayer. He was playing online, so he was doing the combat against each other.
Yeah.
Because that's when the multiplayer really took off, was during Halo 3.
And that's where a lot of it comes too, because, you get on there and, you're talking to, there is no censor. There's nothing censored on there.
Unless you report
anybody
each other.
can have their mic plugged in and say whatever they want.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of parents or grandparents or some people may be naive to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's some in here that we talked about that I don't know if we wrote down, but one was actually lured to a 19-year-old. This 19-year-old kid lured a 14-year-old kid to his house through the game to play the game with him, and then tied him up and went through this fantasy of killing him and torturing him and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was in England in 2004. His name was Warren LeBlanc. He lured a 14-year-old kid, his name was Stefan, to a park and then stabbed him to death with a claw hammer.
Yep.
Yeah. But back to Daniel. So he resorted to video games, and when they took it, his dad put it in a lockbox, the lockbox where his pistol also was placed. And he left the key in it, so he... Yeah, I know. What was the point in that?
Right.
So he gets in it and he realizes, oh, there's a gun in here too. So he takes his game and the gun and he goes to his parents and says, I have a surprise for you. Close your eyes. And his dad even said that he was really expecting something pleasant, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So he tells them to open their eyes, I guess, and he shoots them with their eyes closed.
I think he
shot his mom
first.
Yeah. And then he shot his dad. He scraped his head, didn't he? He got him in the head.
It's in his face. It
his jaw and cheekbone and stuff.
Freaking
didn't actually hit him.
Made it alive.
Didn't hit
and still functioning and can speak with no brain damage or anything.
Yeah.
Wasn't he is that the guy that was in the interrogation room and asked if he died?
Yeah, that was it. Well, what he did was he tried to conceal it to the police by putting the gun in his dad's hand.
He was trying to say it was murder-suicide.
Right.
And then he asked in the interrogation room, did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knew.
Well, he was when he was telling his story and everything about how it all happened.
He was, he was fibbing.
Like, his sister and her boyfriend came home while all this was going on, and he was saying you can't come in, and and that kind of thing, and
scary.
And then he actually got in the family van and drove away from the police with the game on his front seat.
Yep.
So
and they got him
he wanted
hours
to make sure
later.
He took his game with him,
or probably shortly after. I'm sure that's the first vehicle they were looking for. So
yeah.
But he's still in jail. As far as I know, he got 40 years or something. Yeah, so he's got like 10 years left.
I think it said
2030.
He's up for parole.
You gotta wait 10 more years to play that damn game.
I miss
all for that.
They already got 6 more
out, buddy. New character and everything.
So I missed this part. What was his dad saying that you guys were watching?
Well, they were going to give him they were going to give him life, wasn't they?
So basically,
and then his dad.
First, they were going to give him the death sentence. They were going to try to try him as an adult.
His dad
the death sentence.
Said that he still had overwhelming love for his son. Like, he just felt pure love and forgiveness for him, regardless of what happened. And he said that his son had said to him several different times that he missed his mother, and would cry to him, and you could tell he was very upset in the courtroom. He was bawling his eyes out when his dad was speaking about it too.
Yeah.
And he said that he had forgiven him and that he just wanted a better life for his son, and he wanted him to still have a second chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is,
as a parent,
I get it, but damn, dude, your son tried to shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
And killed his wife.
And then tried to make it look like you killed your wife.
Yeah.
It's like he just looked right past it.
Because he was pissed off.
Yeah, over a game.
Yeah.
See, there's underlying issues there, but he did later state, Daniel did, he later stated that what he said about the video game being the cause and root of everything was just absolutely ridiculous and blah, 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 like basically repenting for everything that he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's also Lamar Roberts. In 2007, he was in Colorado. They called him the Mortal Kombat Killer. It was a 7-year-old little girl. He actually attempted the finishing moves off of Mortal Kombat on the 7-year-old girl.
How old was he?
He was
17. Did you say?
I think he
19.
I think he was 19. I didn't actually write 19. His age down. He was a young black male. I do know that. Well, she died and suffered, what resulted in that was a broken wrist. She had over 20 bruises, swelling of the brain, bleeding in her neck muscles, and her spine.
Well, he's just a piece of shit.
This one bothered me because it sounds like she kind of
suffered.
Had a slow death. It sounds like she kind of she probably felt a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Somebody to really...
Did he do it because he was pissed? What
he was
the reason?
He just decided to pick her.
Moves,
he was doing them. Okay, Mortal Kombat has their finishing moves are really disturbing, and it's mature content. Yeah, you know what I mean. So basically, he's attempting probably something insane. I don't know, something disgusting. But over 20 bruises, swelling of the brain. He probably tried to break her neck and wrist at the same time, and her spine. So he probably fucking smashed her on the ground and shit. Yep. He probably did that. Exactly. What is that called?
I don't know.
In the wrestling world, what would that be called?
I don't know.
Choke slam?
Tombstone?
DDT, yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Okay, moving on, because there wasn't much more on that one.
Neck breaker.
There's a French gamer. His name's Julian Burroughs. This happened in 2010. So he plotted revenge against a rival in a game Counter-Strike, which is like a military-based game, kind of. It's a PC game, though. He was killed in the game in a knife fight between somebody that was his rival, is what happened. And he got really pissed off about it. Obviously, he was smart enough to find out where this guy lived. He tracked him down. He went to his door, knocked on it, and then plunged a kitchen knife into his chest close enough to his heart to almost kill him. Because this guy didn't die, this guy only got 2 years.
Serious?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
2 years for that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We have, I think this might be our last one. In 2012, Kendall Anderson of Philadelphia beat his mother with the claw hammer repeatedly. They got into an argument. I do know that. So after he beat his mom repeatedly while she was laying in bed, she rolled off of the bed onto his console. He then took her body, barely breathing still, and dragged her from the top of the stairs down into the kitchen. He opened a hot oven and shoved her head into it. So he charred his mother's head and shoulder. She was still breathing and he didn't realize it, so he took the claw hammer and continued to beat her with it until she was unconscious all the way.
So what was the reasoning for that?
She took his PlayStation.
Yes.
Took his PlayStation.
That her his console was laying beside her bed. They got into an argument over it because she took it from him, and so he was in her room arguing with her. Came back with the claw hammer, and she rolled onto it. How crazy is that detail?
Well, good thing you never took mine. No,
Well, let me tell you what, we
Not
did.
funny though.
We did, and we're still sitting here.
I'm just kidding. Shit, shock value comedy.
I don't know. I feel, I think that there's a certain responsibility, of course, with parents. Don't use it as a babysitter.
Yeah.
And,
limit the hours that they play,
I have
especially
one
right
more,
now.
too.
Yeah.
While they're,
But if you step back and if you take the correlations of like video game deaths and then you say, okay, how many people have got pissed off because you took this away from them and they killed people?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
right.
I mean, come
Or,
on.
like, I think a lot of these are because of it was taken from them. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a few, like the guy with the GTA one,
So they
steal
reflect
car
all
or
the
whatever.
violent tendencies
There was a couple
from the
of
games.
them, or the Columbine or the movie theater. But
Yeah.
So also another good amount of them are just because they were taken from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I'm
Right.
sure there's just as many other murders where, someone's gotten mad because something was taken from them and they killed him.
Yeah.
Well,
There
here's a good one that. So in 2017, this guy David Katz. So apparently, like every year, they hold this big Madden tournament for gamers, and this Katz kid, he's like one of the top players, in the game, and I think he was actually the 2017 winner of it all.
That's crazy.
And,
I thought I was
You gotta be really freaking good.
Oh
man.
no!
I thought I was good. I got my ass kicked online.
Dude,
I've never been
This
back.
guy plays against real NFL players and beats them.
Oh, I believe
And
it.
they get pissed.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
I bet.
Because they got beat.
Yeah.
And so
And they're probably
apparently,
saying, you would beat you in real life, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
put the equipment on.
Yeah.
We'll go out there and smash your skinny ass or whatever, because he
little
was
thumb
just
having
a
ass.
tall, skinny kid that played games, and Madden's was his game, and I know that's a real popular game with
it's fun.
with
It's
people,
addicting.
and it's football.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, it's football, and so basically, I guess it was either 2000, I think it was 2019, that him being a top player, and there's actually interviews where he's kind of cocky about when they talk
How good he is
when they
and-
interview him and shit afterwards, and he's like, well, I consider myself one of the top players, and all that, and like apparently in 2019 he lost early in the rounds. I guess they play rounds of games to get to the top guy,
Like a bracket.
like a bracket, and he basically lost early. So
Probably
he
his
went
first
out to
game
his
or
car
second
and
game.
got his gun and came in, and there's actually the video on YouTube where they show the laser spot on the kid right before he shoots him. And they have the audio on there too, and you can hear the gunfires going off. And it was like 12 pop, 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 pop. And so he killed the kid that beat him. He killed another person. He actually killed 2 people. And he fired 12 shots, killing 2 people, wounding 10 others. and then he turned the gun on himself and killed himself over losing a football game.
So does it say how obviously
virtual
to be
football
that good, you have to put some hours in?
Oh, of course.
Oh, well, I mean, he's obviously been playing for years. He was a professional gamer, and I think professional guys get paid to play the game.
How old was he, does it say?
He was 22. He was from Woodland Hills, California. And, well, no, that was one of the kid he killed was
from Woodland
Elijah
Hills.
Clayton from Woodland Hills. Another kid was Taylor Robertson from Ballard, West Virginia. This happened down in Jacksonville, Florida, where they had the tournament. I don't know where Katz was from, but
he was probably from Jacksonville, maybe.
He might have been. I don't know. No, Louisiana, I think. He had traveled to get there. You know, it was like a travel thing to go to a big tournament. So yeah, that was another one. And it was, like I said, it wasn't a first-person shooter game.
No, it was
a
sports
game. He was just
game.
so into it that he got pissed because he lost, you know?
Extreme.
It's really just anger that it stems from.
Yeah, sore loser for sure. You know?
Not everybody gets a trophy.
Yep.
Some people lose. You gotta learn how to deal.
Yeah. You gotta learn how to lose.
Yeah, you definitely have to learn how to lose. And it's easy to get frustrated because you can lose over and over and over and over again. Trust me. You know what I mean? Like, I tried playing online on Madden, and I thought I was kind of good playing against the computer, and I beat a couple people.
I remember when
I was
this
beating
happened.
a couple people. I was like 4-0 online, and even I was getting cocky, like, hell yeah, man. And I lost a couple. But
I'm one professional.
Oh, man, but then a couple guys just, I mean, like I
Waxed
said,
you.
they embarrassed me so bad, I haven't played it. I haven't been back on. I'm like, no, that's okay.
He was like, fuck, dude, I can't do nothing.
Yeah, it was bad. But I didn't want to go shoot him. I was just like, I'm not playing that game. I'll play the computer.
Yeah.
Put it back to easy, back to the drawing board.
All right, so the last two little ones I have to tell you guys about. One of them was Alexandria Tobias. She was a Farmville addict. She was constantly playing the game,
Which is a Facebook game.
Yep,
like,
it's a
you have your
Facebook
own
game.
little farm,
Gardening
and plant your
and
own little
stuff,
garden.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like
You harvest vegetables, you sell them,
Yeah.
you do special orders.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot.
played it at the
Like-
casino.
Yeah, they do have it there.
Yeah.
That's right.
How exactly does that one work?
I mean, you just put in money and push buttons and hope you win some more money.
Yeah.
You know,
Hope you get a
we
cow.
might have to do one on casino murders, people that come out of there, because there's some crazy,
Or when they close it down.
whacked out
for,
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for the gamblers. They're going to be a little
Twitchy.
twitchy.
Probably at local gas stations doing scratch offs.
Yeah. Got to switch the scratch offs, gamblers.
And then what she did is kind of sad, very sad.
Yeah.
She shook a 3-month-old baby to death who interrupted her game.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's
How old is she? Not that it matters.
she was
'cause
in-
I don't think she was very
She's
old.
like 20 something.
She was in her
22
20s.
She was
or
not
something.
very old whatsoever.
Not
It didn't
obviously
say if it was her
old
child
enough
or
to have
not,
another child, have a baby.
but I'm assuming it probably is. I mean, why else would somebody
I
leave
think
a
it said it
3-month-old
shook
with
her
someone?
So what did she
month-old.
get? Hopefully death?
50 years
in
in prison.
Not long
No
enough.
parole, I don't think either.
No, it's not long enough. Not when you're only 20, because you're still going to get your
No,
out
and
date.
she's 70.
Was it worth it? You're not going to be playing Farmville now.
No, she probably is. She probably got like a tablet and shit.
Yeah,
in
but you don't
prison.
get stuff like that.
No, but she's
I
probably
promise.
onto a new game.
You get like monitored games. They pick them for you, and you don't choose which ones you get. Stuff like that. But then this other guy, Wayne, he was laying in his bedroom playing a video game, and his toddler came in and actually fell
Ghost
on.
Recon, he was playing.
Yeah,
Ghost
he was playing
Recon.
Ghost Recon, which is a Call of Duty game.
Not that it matters, but
Yeah, it kind of does
it's
actually.
a military game.
Yeah, and
That's another big multiplayer, like where you
yeah.
have teams and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
online where you have a
With your
team
buddies.
and you go against the other team and you're killing each other and whatnot. Well, his toddler fell onto his Xbox 360 and broke it. He completely flipped out and beat the toddler to death.
and then like placed it by his gym barbells and weight equipment to make it look like an accident.
Yeah.
Fled the scene and then turned himself in the next day.
So what did he get?
I don't think it's sad.
I'm not sure. I know.
Probably life.
I think it was life.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or no, was it? Or was
It was
he the
either
one that got
20-something years.
or was it the dude that got 22 to 48 years?
That was
Yeah,
probably
that
it.
might have been
yeah,
it.
because we
Yeah,
were
I
like,
think it
"What the
was.
fuck? He only got."
Yeah, 22
Yeah.
years.
Well, hopefully somebody in jail will take care of him.
He's kind of had some scattered information. Like I said, some of them weren't even really like news
Yeah.
clippets, or
Yeah.
they were just like one news article out of one night
Yeah.
of
Well,
that week in
yeah.
that town.
And then I
Yeah.
think
You
the
know
We
what I
couldn't
mean?
find
So it
anything
was-
else on it.
we kind of I mean, you guys are gamers. I'm not really a gamer. I like the old school
Yeah.
stuff, but especially nowadays, there's going to be a lot of parents like, what do I do
Yeah.
if my kids are home? And
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of gaming going on.
Yeah.
But hopefully the
Just,
weather will warm up and they can go outside more. And I'm not telling you
Yeah.
how to raise your kid.
Well,
or
no,
nothing,
but parents should do things with them.
Yeah.
Get involved with them.
yeah.
The one
Go
thing,
out. Like one thing, me and Cody
Lots
used
of
to-
family time.
We used to
Yeah.
toss ball and
oh yeah,
Fish.
yeah.
The weather's
Just
breaking.
Just because I like video games,
crash his
wasn't
dirt
all I
bike.
do,
You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
It was more of a
Do
rainy
things.
day thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
was stuck to being inside, that's pretty much what I did.
We
all
were,
day.
Yeah.
If it was
yeah.
nice out.
Well,
I
and the
was
thing with
usually
this
out.
is there's no extracurricular sports that's
Right,
going to be
nothing
going
going
on
on.
right now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So parents are really going to have to be
Yeah.
extra
Yeah,
involved.
a lot of
extra
entertainments
involved.
canceled. All those sports entertainments canceled.
Well, and the thing is, it's like, and he would get angry sometimes, and I know he threw a couple of his PlayStation or his whatever they are, controllers, but
yeah.
he never really got mad when we took the game away. Like, hey, that's it.
He got
because
over it, right?
He knew if he threw a fit, it was gone longer.
Oh yeah.
But he was more of a kid that wanted to be out, that wanted to do things,
Right.
And but he also got into his games, and it was our responsibility to say which games.
Yeah.
And
Nowadays, too, the one thing I can say for the parents about video games is not so much the games that they're playing that like would scare me if I had kids. It's more or less the interactions they can have with other people from anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
sure.
I mean, you do not know who you're really talking to on there. I mean,
know.
she
Yeah.
gets wrote by people all the time. I mean, anybody can just jump into our stuff and talk to us like over a microphone if
Yeah.
we don't have
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
privacy stuff set to private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I mean?
a
If
lot
we're
of
in
them
if
don't
we're in a party
because
where just us three
they're kids.
are talking, but we don't have nothing set, but we're like
I don't think a lot of
friends
parents
with
realize that.
you know,
Yeah, right.
Because I do have a lot of little
26 or
YouTube
something.
friends
He
and
can
stuff
join
that I'm
and-
friends with on PlayStation,
it's-
and they've jumped into our parties before and just
Well,
played
yeah.
music
Well,
and weird
like-
stuff.
and messed with you, and
I mean, it's kind of like the Facebook friend request thing. I mean, they're just some people friend request.
Oh, I've got like 500 friend
And
requests
it's
unaccepted.
just
you
well,
know.
some of it's just spam and trying to
Yeah.
hack you too. But
right.
you
know.
lost your last Facebook.
yeah, but
Somebody
what I'm-
hacked him and got
what
him
I'm
out
saying
of it.
is, it's really easy to communicate on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of these parents might be a little blind to is how easy it is to communicate with
Right.
almost anybody out there.
Yeah.
It's that
Exactly.
easy to just
Exactly.
plug your microphone in, throw your headset on, and
Whoever you're
literally
in a game
click
with.
chat to anyone in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and
And that opens a lot of doors for fucking deranged people and sickos and
Predators.
fucked up people.
And if you don't think your kids know how to do it, you're wrong.
No.
Cody pretty much
Oh,
taught us
yeah.
everything we needed to know
No.
on stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
don't be naive to it is all I
Yeah.
can say,
Yeah.
because I'm glad that stuff wasn't around when I played games. You know what I mean? You couldn't really talk to other people. It was
Right.
just you and whatever your mission was. You know what I mean? Now
Online
you're
gaming changed
interacting,
everything.
playing almost every game. You can easily interact with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in any game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not just alone in there. Like you can easily come across another person and you don't know who that person is. Not saying it's all bad. I mean, I've had some fun with people I've never met before, but
Right.
at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm an adult and nobody's gonna, you know what I mean, persuade me to do anything or
Yeah.
nothing bad's gonna come out of that. But
Yeah, but kids,
for
man,
your
you never
kids,
know.
just
Yeah.
don't be naive to it.
Yeah.
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 That's the danger in video games, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the game itself.
No, I don't think the game itself. I just think that people with young minds and who put all their time into it, that's a problem because it becomes real to them, and especially if your brain's not developed all the way and you maybe already have problems, because if you're being allowed to play these games for that long, that tells you that you're already not social like you should be with your family.
Yeah.
And like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anywho,
yeah, so we have some exciting stuff going on. We are planning on doing a live on Sunday at 7 Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Say what?
That's what I say.
yeah, that's this Sunday, the 22nd, March 22nd. So everybody's on the same schedule.
Bear with us. This will be our first time doing a live like this. I do lives on my Facebook, but like this. But we want everybody to come in. If you listen on...
That'll be on YouTube.
And that'll be on YouTube. I'll be posting links.
We'll post links to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or
subscribe. Find us on Facebook. There will be a link on Facebook.
Yeah, and we're going to use that because we can use commenting platform.
Yeah, we want your guys' engagement.
And we're going to kind of revisit some other stuff. So if you have comments or questions, and we try to answer those as much as we can, when you put them. But if we've missed you, from comments and stuff, and you want to ask that question,
Yeah.
And we know everybody's stuck at home right now, kind of bored, probably getting a little stir
Plenty
crazy.
of time to talk about it.
So we figured we'll throw up a little discussion and chat and get some
from 6 foot distance at least.
Yeah, we'll do some social over the line.
Right.
Do you got camera angles that'll handle that? I don't know.
Right.
The news stations are doing that now, and we're running out of cameras.
Oh gosh.
So what are the we got Buzz Anchor. So if you listen to us on Anchor and Buzzsprout,
iTunes,
any of the other podcasts, anywhere that you don't listen to,
wherever you've been listening to.
We put a lot of good information on Facebook about like pictures and stuff like that too. If you want to follow us on there, we'll share links on there.
But if you listen to us on those other outlets and not on YouTube, then just head over to YouTube, follow the link. But you will also be able to hear it. We'll bring the... What am I trying to say? They won't be able to see it on Buzzsprout.
Right, you won't be able to see footage. You'll just hear a voice.
Exactly.
On the audio podcast, you won't be able to see it, and it won't be live. We might record it and then put it up.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say.
But you won't get the live. You won't get the live experience unless you come to YouTube.
Right.
So if you want to comment and be involved, and if it works out good, we might do more lives, especially since everybody's stuck in the house and
get a little crazy,
get a little more interaction with everybody. People's been viewing us and stuff. So
we'll be posting it more on our Facebook page. So if you haven't liked that, definitely like that.
And the views and downloads have been going up constantly.
Thank you guys so much.
We appreciate the support, and we enjoy.
Keep it coming. Keep listening.
Yep.
It's just something that we have fun doing, and and unfortunately we have to hit some pretty deranged stuff, but it's
real.
It is definitely real.
Yeah, and some people need their stories shared.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have voices.
But definitely, you guys be careful out there and stay safe and healthy, and
wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
We're all
don't share
together.
Drinks.
Don't be our next episode.
Deranged Nation.
You've been listening to the Deranged Nation podcast. Join us every Wednesday night for a new episode as we bring you true crime, unsolved mysteries, and other deranged stories. This episode was sponsored by Braps MX and ATV Pro Shop. Visit them at brapsmx.pro. Also, visit our host, TeresaGableman.com, New York Times best-selling paranormal romance author of the Protectors series, available on Amazon.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.